in the business of looking at those cold cases and looking if there's anything that can now be done as a result of the changes in technology, as a result of witnesses come forward. Sometimes you run into a dead end where you can't find the person, you can't find any family members, and now what do? Now you're waiting, you're trying to think of new things to do, searching birth records, death records, all those things. So it all takes time, and it's not something that's as quick and happening as an act of murder. We don't know what's going to be in the boxes when we open these up. So a lot of times we're looking at case files back in the 60s that are a manila envelope, and that contains everything. In the 2000s, we were looking at banker's boxes full of information, sometimes one banker's box, sometimes 10 banker's boxes. So we're looking at the cases, currently we're looking at cases from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and we're looking at DNA because it wasn't used before. What can we apply to those cases today that they didn't have available back then?
Tiny body fluid stains, tiny blood stains, which may not have been amenable in the past to DNA testing, are now perfectly appropriate, and we could generate full DNA profiles that can be compared against persons of interest or against the National DNA Data Bank. Phenotypic DNA testing, which is DNA testing that is targeting sequences of DNA that code for particular physical characteristics of individuals. Hair color, eye color, facial features, ethnic origin, for example.
So now you have a smaller number of persons of interest or people that it could be. So you've effectively eliminated thousands, hundreds of thousands of people as your suspects. New technology did lead to the arrest of this offender. We had the evidence, it just needed to be applied the proper way or in today's way. Yeah. They did a fantastic job of investigating it back then, and that's why we are here today. In the next year or 2, 3 years, 1, 2, 3 cases that we solve out of these 500 or so, if I do that, that's a great result. Any one case that we solve is great.